Snakebreaker is here. And I am baffled by the fact that they're giving out Brave like this. This is absolutely nuts. We're going to talk about this whole banner because there's some really interesting things. First up, we have Ike, though. And Ike is a speedy Omni tank, which is not something we've seen from him for a bit. So, Lance Infantry. So here's his kit, and this is Swirling Lance. We have Slaying at the start of player or enemy phase. If you're within 2 spaces of an ally, grants speed defense +6. And then we have the Frost effect with 10, which is fantastic. And then Null Panic to unit and allies within 2 spaces for 1 turn. If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants, and this is a big way of saying you get 14 if you meet that condition, deals damage equals 20% of unit speed, that doesn't include AoEs, and then reduces, this is flat DR, by 20% of unit speed, which is also fantastic, and reduces percentage of foes' non-special damage, and that's the 50% piercing there. So, that's all really good. You've got true damage, which you really need. You've got flat DR, which you really need. And you've got piercing, which you really need, as well as a bunch of stats and Null Panic and Frost. Okay, we move on. Aether's Path. When special triggers, boost damage by 70% of the greater of foes' speed or defense and restores 50% of units' max HP. We've seen this. This is a staple of Ike is sustainability. But moving on, neutralizes effects that inflict special cooldown charge -X on units. So you have the Null Guard, which is just everywhere right now. We have Deep Wounds reduction of 50%. We have Null Counter Disrupt, which is really, really important right now, and reduces damage from attacks by X% during combat. X equals 50 minus current special cooldown count times 10, but if unit special triggered during this combat, X equals 50. So, I mean, that's a lot of DR. DR on DR on DR, and a lot of speed. The nice thing about this, and we should probably keep on reading. Let me talk about what this unit is used for down the line. D bonus doubler, that is good. That is likely the best A skill for him right now. Moving on, we have what I really wanted to get to, and this is Lagoo's Loyalty. Okay, I'm not going to read this. This is Lagoo's Friend 4 for speedy units, which we have kind of been begging for. Speedy units really needed something like this, just to be completely honest, and this is really kind of fantastic in the way it works, and I want to give this to a couple of my units. So, anyway, well-needed skill. I don't know if I'm going to call this busted because we already have Lagoo's Friend 4. Like, that exists. This just widens the range of Omni tanks that we can use, which is very good. And we like variety, and so I don't think this is breaking the game. I think this is just expanding use cases. Times Pulse Edge is interesting. At start of turn, if special cooldown count is at its maximum, grants special cooldown count -1. Grants bonus to units attack speed during combat equals units max special cooldown count value +2. So higher specials, you get higher attack and speed, which goes great with Lagoo's Friend. Well, Lagoo's Loyalty users because the attack speed. But that is really, really fantastic. And then we get the Times Pulse 4 effect where you get another cooldown. So this is really good. The kit together is very synergistic. And you see they were pretty efficient with the wording as well. I appreciate that. This is a really good Omni tank. And I want to talk about the tier list here real quickly. So we switch over, and right off the bat, I know this is going to seem weird, but I've got Neithogr as the best Omni tank in the game. She's missing some key things, the biggest being Null Counter Disrupt, but you have to be able to do damage for that to matter. And she, in a lot of cases, just stonewalls folks. It's kind of incredible, and with the save effect, you can help yourself out a lot. So, I mean, essentially, even if you're going against Larotha, you're surviving the initial wave. She hits hard enough to kill things. She is fantastic, even if she isn't perfect. And again, she will fall off because she's missing some stuff, but, well, she'll fall off as an Omni tank. I think she's going to be here to stay as a savior for a while, but right now I've got her as the best Omni tank in the game. Next up, this is where I put Ike, and this unit is going to be really good. The hard thing with speedy anything, when you're relying on speed, your value drops quicker than we'd like, and we're already in a time where things move really quickly, so I want you to watch out for that. But we're not plus 10ing units right now unless they're your favorites. Like that's just not really something you want to do. If you want to get a one-off of this unit, and I mean, this unit is even good. This unit is kind of designed to go up against the Larother defenses right now. Everything is within 3 spaces, so you can keep him far away and, you know, not have someone accidentally get save and try to save your unit. That's not going to happen. This unit is great at denying double hits, which is fantastic. The only thing this unit is going to worry about is, of course, brave hits. But honestly, I'm a big fan. We're in a meta such that probably Hardy Bearing is going to be his best seal slot because you want to avoid the quad hits 4 in a row. But I think he might have enough speed where that doesn't matter. I should have gone over it with Lagoo's Loyalty, but you have an additional frost effect in that B skill. So you have a 20 speed deficit that the opponent has to overcome already. That's huge. This unit is going to be very, very good. I do still have Tamara up there, and having her as a fodder factory means she gets a lot of extra things, and the fact that she can have both Bulwark and have Null Counter Disrupt is kind of fantastic. Both of those, actually the entire top row, are very weak to AoEs, but you can get Divine Vein Stone, I'm not going to say super easily because that's not true, but you can get it. And so that is very good. I've gone over a lot of these other units. I did drop Ike down finally. That tier 1 is a little bit of a mess because there is definitely a gap between Ike and then Sita. So I really need to rearrange that. There's a bit of a space there. I will get that fixed. But tier 0 is pretty set there. And I know we haven't seen Ike in action, but this unit is going to be really good. Just watch out for AoEs and of course quad hits, but that's everybody. Quad hits are just the way you defeat units right now, which we'll go over more in a little bit. Okay. I'm not clear on Malice, just to be completely frank. So this is another speedy Omni tank, but it's not as good as the speedy Omni tank that they just showed. And so I'm a little like, what were you doing there? This is not a bad unit though. We'll go over this. We have Slang, we have the Phantom Speed, which is good. At start of player phase or enemy phase, if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed +6, dodge, and null penalties to unit and allies within 2 spaces for 1 turn. Those are 3 good effects. Those are 2 good effects. If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants bonus to units, attack speed, defense, res, based on number of times unit has been enhanced by blah, 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 blah. Why do they do this Dragonflower thing? I don't understand it. So if you have like 1 Dragonflower, you get +14. I don't understand. Grant special cooldown count -2 to unit before foe's first attack and reduces damage from foe's first attack by 20% of unit speed, and that includes Braves. And unit's next attack deals, it's the reflective damage thing. So that's good. This unit's going to hit pretty hard, and that resets at end of combat. And if unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, restores 7 HP to unit after combat. So we're going to stop there for a second. So right off the bat, we're missing some things, mainly that null counter disrupt. And like we talked about with Neathogre, you can be missing that if you are just an absolute, and I'll use the term here, beast. But this unit it looks like they were trying to make the Felix Omni tank without all the extra actions, and I just don't understand. We even have Gust here. So again, this is not a bad unit. In comparison, it's weird to have both of these back to back. Attack speed prime 4 is not great. And attack speed spiked wall is actually a very good skill, but it's hard to get this on units because you're really trying to get every single bit of bulk into your unit as you possibly can, and attack speed spiked wall is just never going to be as good as, well, we just saw Legu's loyalty, but even Legu's friend, like that's going to be a tough thing to do. So let's look at the tier list. I don't want to be too negative on this because that doesn't reflect how I feel about this unit. This is still tier 1, although I do have her at the bottom. I'd rather have Sita because Sita has a lot of really nice things about her, and then I'd rather have Ike as well. But that's about where she's sitting. It might just be that I'm bitter because her base form has pity broken me so many times. But overall, I'm not just completely excited about this unit. If this unit is your favorite, though, I do think there are places where you can use her. I don't know what's up with this trend of having really good seasonal demos. I'm here for it, though. This is actually a good unit. I like Flying Dancers best because they have the most access to supportive skills. And I mean, your dancer is sometimes neat when they can actually destroy things, and I'm all about that, but at the end of the day, their best use case is going to be just maximizing out support. So first up, we have Johanna Dagger, and this is a really good inheritable dagger. So we have Phantom Speed. Start a player phase or enemy phase if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed 6, dodge, and neutralizes penalties. We just talked about that with Malice. Dodge is okay. It's not the best right now, but the other two are really good. If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants Omni +5 to unit and reduces damage from foe's first attack by 7. That includes Braves. And unit's next attack that's the reflective damage. So, I mean, we just got Malice's weapon in an inheritable dagger, and that probably should tell you all you need to know about Malice. But this is a really good inheritable dagger, and something. I mean, if you don't have some of the other really good arcane daggers, I think this is a very, very nice choice. Also, if you wanted to keep your preference, I think this would be a good choice as well. You have Dance because it's Tethys, of course, as a dancer. And then we have Firestorm Dance 3 on this unit, which is fantastic. They need to keep doing this. I'm a fan. Tier 4 skills, bring them on. Keep putting them on these units. But I really like this unit, and I think if you're a Tethys fan, this is probably good news because this is very easy to merge, and she is very adaptable. I don't know what to tell you here. Marissa fans are doing really well. So we've got the Marissa and Byleth Harmonic, and this is something. So you notice right off the bat, this is a quad hit, and that is always something that piques your interest. So, Laconic Axe. We have Slaying, we have Enables Canto 2. We like Fixed Canto, that's nice. Right off the bat, we have an Omni +4 to allies within 3 rows and 3 columns centered on unit during combat. I mean, free stats are never a bad thing, and that range is huge. That's fantastic. For target ally within 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit, if Savior is not triggered, so this can't be done to saves. When they're talking about target ally, this is okay. We're gonna scrap this because I think this is really poorly written. So, what this is doing is giving out a Brave effect to either units within 3 rows and 3 columns or your support ally. That's fantastic. That is. There's not a mode that's not good in. This doesn't apply to saviors. This doesn't apply when save is triggered. So, for instance, if you wanted to use Neathhoger as an Omni tank, you could have save on that unit and have them take on the first wave, and then she could back off and sit back with everybody else and use the save skill. She wouldn't get the Brave effect at that point, but you understand the difference there. But Brave is the most powerful effect in the game right now because of how much it is needed. Because it's the only way to get through a lot of the craziness that we're seeing. I've seen so many folks complain about Neathogre and Marnie and a lot of the very, very bulky armors that we've got right now. And this is a way to get brave hits. And all you need to be is within 3 rows or 3 columns centered on this unit. Now, it has some restrictions: support ally or unit with highest HP. So it's not just to everyone. That is a very important distinction. But that's really, really good. That is dual phase, and Brave is also very important on the enemy phase right now, because I want you to think about one of the hard things about Sigurd is how bulky that unit is, and not just Sigurd, but Sigurd and Felix. All of those units they hit really hard, but they don't die, and this is going to help your enemy phase unit kill them. This is a very, very good support, and doesn't stop there. If unit initiates combat, or if an ally is within 3 rows or 3 columns on unit, grants bonus to attack speed, defense, res equals number of allies within 3. It's a big long way of saying 14. Deals damage equals 20% of unit's damage. Reduces damage, and that's the 20% of speed flat DR, and that includes Brave. And then we have piercing, and restores 7 HP after combat. This is another one. This is not just a huge wall of text, but it's really fantastic. I don't know what to say about that. This is, boy, I'm going to say this. This is Bridal Catria levels of good. I want you to think about when saves were first introduced and we had no way of killing them. And that was incredibly frustrating. And the way that they fixed that was they gave us Bridal Catria. This is a way to help you with that. And it is nerfed a little bit on defense. Because again, you're limited to the unit with the highest HP, because ally support doesn't work there. And so if you think about most of your nukes, they have lower HP, and so it's going to be harder to target them. But still, I think there are going to be a lot of ways to be able to use that in that context. I'm really impressed with this. This is something that is going to be very interesting, and there seems to be a little bit of play and counterplay to it. So I'm a fan. Past that, we have Attack Speed Excel, which is probably for Cavs is the best A skill they have right now. Then we have Assault Force. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 space of an ally, inflicts speed defense -5, neutralizes penalties on unit, deals damage equals 20% of the greater of unit's speed or defense, and reduces the percent of foes non-special reduced damage. So we get piercing as well. The big takeaway there is this is piercing for a Cav. Probably going to be melee only, I'm just guessing, because that's what the 4 skills have been so far. But that's very good. And then Odd Speed Wave, which of course is, a null follow-up. So that's fantastic. And again, I can't say enough of how good Brave is right now in the meta. And that is going to be something to watch. If you are a meta person, this is probably a must summon. I know that is a dangerous thing to say, especially on the verge of, we're on the verge of an anniversary. And keep in mind what happened last anniversary was we got Emblem Heroes. That's a huge shift in the meta that may happen in a month. We just don't know. But this is a really, really good unit. Okay, then we have the Harmonized skill, and right off the bat we have an extra movement for this unit, which is always good. Then we have Resonant Blades and ignores terrain, 2 units of the same title for 1 turn, which is also good. And you get to use this once every 3 turns, which is very nice as well. None of this is crown breaking or earth shattering, but really it's the Brave effect. And let's go ahead and hop over to the support hero tier list. And I'm begging you. If it was not just units with the highest HP, the highest HP is kind of limiting. I would say this unit surpassed Larother, as is I think Larather is still probably the most influential support unit in the game. If you think about how much he has just warped things and how much he helps defenses, and I mean, you just want to use him everywhere. He's really fantastic. So I've got him at tier 0 and the top spot. But right after him, I have Marissa and Byleth, and they are, I mean, there is a world where somehow brave hits stop being as good as they are. But right now, they are just absolutely necessary. And you want this unit on a Gale Force team because you've got to break through all of the crazy saves that are out there right now. You want this unit on we just talked about an enemy phase team. That's amazing. Having this unit on defense, there's some stuff you're going to have to play around, but I think she could definitely be used there. I can only imagine the Summoner Tool shenanigans. That's going to be an interesting thing as well. I don't know that she scores high enough for Arena, and I'll be honest, thank God she doesn't. She's not going to score well enough for her Arena. But I am really impressed with this unit. We talked about this before. I do have her above Lucina. As a unit, I would pick Lucina over Marissa because I think Lucina has more to her than just a support hero. She is good in so many different ways, but if we're just looking at support units, I think Marissa does edge her out. I am very, very astounded by how good that unit is, and I will definitely be summoning for one just because I like to use older units, and this is a window into letting you do that, which is a big, big deal. CYL is coming up, and I have a whole preview on that. If you're interested in that, I'm going to leave the link right here. Members, you are amazing and have done so many great things for the channel. I appreciate you greatly. Take care and schedule an appointment with your FEHologist real soon.